Hypocrisy.
You're my lawyer?
Says here you, robbed a hospital? Why'd you do that?
Yeah, I'm not guilty.
That's not what the other lawyer said.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Law-Splaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And guys, I just need to let you know, there's a big troll out there, an absolute mammoth troll who's been just really plaguing a lot of streams I've been up to. I've exchanged words with this person. If you were watching earlier today, you saw it. I'm getting really, really tired of seeing this troll come around, and oh my goodness, and jumping in and interjecting on streams and making comments that are ridiculous and all this stuff. And I mean, that's just part of being on the internet. You get someone who's really jealous of your success, or the fact that you have a platform. You get someone who's like mad that people watch your commentary and not theirs or whatever. I don't know, or maybe they don't. Maybe their commentary isn't. Maybe it isn't even real. And so I just got to say, Attorney Tom can lick my balls. That's right. That's right. Attorney Tom can kiss it, because I'm tired of this guy running around here, yapping all the time. So he can eat shit. Oh my gosh. Can you believe this guy? Can you believe this Tom guy running around here, running his mouth all day? Hair looking dapper. I mean, sort of, until I go over to the part that I was sleeping on. Oh, guys, I laid down and just immediately passed out. It was blissful for about 20 minutes before the show. Yeah, Attorney Tom, the TikTok lawyer. Look, Tom, if I ever need legal work that's done in under a minute, I'll call you. Okay? Yeah, Ginger, we missed the rest of the court day. We did. I thought maybe they would just quietly go dismiss it, but there actually was a wrap up that happened later. I mean, we're not going to revisit it. I don't know how much happened in open court, but they didn't finish until like 8 p.m. They didn't finish until, it might have been, maybe it was 7:30, something like that. But they kept going, and they did impanel the entire jury. So tomorrow at 9 a.m., we will be back. There will be the coverage of opening arguments for both the prosecution and the defense. It should be pretty interesting to see each side's theory of the case stack up and see how they plan to bring this thing to fruition. Opening arguments tends to be where you lay out the skeleton or outline of your case. You put that down for the jury. You're going to tell them what they're going to learn in this trial. You're going to tell them, you get to do some characterization stuff, but you're going to show them what the evidence will show. The corruption. You've got, that's your time to really put it out there. So we're going to watch that tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. And guess what? Immediately after that show, I will be going on Adam Krigler's show, because I'm stupid. I'll be on Adam Krigler's show immediately after the trial wraps up tomorrow, and or the tomorrow's trial day wraps up, I should say. And I'll be popping on Krigler for he asked if I would come on and give people a summary of what's going on. So I will do that as well. Yeah, but tonight is for, well, one, tonight is for you guys who are up late, right? I've talked to so many people throughout the course of doing this show. Probably none of them watch anymore. No, I'm just kidding. But so many people who just appreciate having something to watch at this time of night, that this is just a good time. Either they drive a truck or they work an IT job overnight, whatever it is, and they like having something from someone that they don't hate, or they like to hate, one of those two. They like to have some sort of show to watch. And so that's one of the reasons that we're doing that. I'm still doing the nighttime shows while doing the daytime shows. The other reason is, with all that daytime stuff, that's all focused on Kyle Rittenhouse, and we don't have as much time for the meme lawsuits that are out there. Russell Greer, Melinda Scott, these champions and titans of litigation out here working their asses off to bring a proper lawsuit and just not being able to do it. Just not being able to do it. So I want to check in on their cases on Pacer, which I'm doing right now. And if we get around to it, I would like to bring up some of Melinda's recent commentary on Kiwi Farms, because I don't know if people get a proper scope of how insane Melinda Scott actually is. And she is Scorpion says, if I hear another I will lose my shit. What if I say like that? Like well, sorry. I don't know if people appreciate the trying to squeeze one in organically now and it doesn't work. How insane Melinda Scott is. She is out there. She is out there. But the best way to do that is to let her talk about it. Because from her filings, you're like, oh, this poor thing, it was just dropped. It's just broken. It's not functioning right. How dare we? Right? It's like Russell. In the same way that, like, you don't get the essence of Russell Greer until you dive into his activities. Like, you think he's just a weirdo who files bad lawsuits. No. And Melinda's not just a weirdo who files bad lawsuits either. Melinda's got her own breed of crazy. So we'll take a look at these things. Seriously. Okay. Oh my goodness. Chanji. Oh, change. Says pronounce change. Nick sees a free membership chat. Nick. Yeah, so I'm going to turn on subscriber chat only. I should have expected nothing less from the best grifter on YouTube. That's right. Sorry, Change. Change sent a membership chat earlier today. You know, you get one a month. YouTube gives you one free membership chat a month. Is so kind and benevolent of them to do so. And here's, if you guys haven't picked up on this in the shows where people do send the membership chats, I try to treat them the same as $20 chats, because even though I'm not a big fan of promoting YouTube's membership because of reasons about being banned, for example, for a week, I'm not a big fan of it. However, I do really appreciate people doing stuff like the membership program and locals and stuff like that. What? How'd your shirt get wet?
She wanted to drink water, and then I was giving water to her, and I wasn't careful, and I accidentally spilled it on her shirt.
Your shirt's gonna get dry. It'll be okay.
Yeah, we were telling her, that
Just a second.
we need to store it in the wash. Sorry for it.
You need to what? You want to put that in the washer? Okay, can you go get a different shirt? Maybe a jammy shirt or something? Can you help her?
Yeah, sorry for it.
You're fine. Good night. That was my 3 daughters, all of them. The youngest was thirsty. So the second youngest was trying to get the youngest some water from the sink. And when she gave the youngest the water, it was a little bit, she was a little bit uncareful and spilled water on the shirt. So the youngest wanted, her shirt was wet and wants it to go in the washer. And then the oldest was wondering where they went because I told them not to go up and bother mom. And then so she had to come and apologize and wrangle the other 2. Oh, they're fantastic. They really are. But these damn kids, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Just go to sleep. Just go to sleep. Anyway, yeah. So there you go. Where was I? Yes. So, change. I am sorry for missing your message earlier, but I do try to read those membership messages right away because I do appreciate it. I really do. Stephen Cooper says, damn straight they do. And the thing is, so when YouTube clears, do you guys want to see the panel? I mean, I could really quickly show you what it looks like. Here we go. I can do this. So here's the panel, right? This is what it looks like. And this nice little super chat list comes up and it scrolls down. If you, as you go, it scrolls down. But if you notice something, like revenue says $37 and there's a 20 and there's a 5, right? But we're clearly missing a 10 and a 2 or 2 5s and a 2. I don't know. When there's any kind of refresh that happens on here, and we go back over to viewer activity, now they're gone. Thank you, YouTube, for doing that. Thank you. Oh, and before I miss it, Stacy Dealman, welcome to paralegal status. Very much appreciated. Because that one's going to go away. But yeah. So anyway, that's the problem. Those when that happens with the super chats, there's a different place I can go grab them. The membership chats, they disappear. They vanish into the ether. I don't know the alternate place to get them. So it's a mess. But yeah, speaking of that, let me go grab those early super chats while I'm thinking about it. Oh, another thing I need to maybe mention. I know the video on Kyle was really choppy earlier. Mine's only choppy right now for me for a different reason. I know the video on Kyle was really choppy earlier, and I've been having PC problems, but I put the 2 RAM sticks that I pulled out, I put them back in, and performance seems to be much improved. I think I don't know this. I can't remember, but I think if you only have 2 sticks in, you're supposed to have them in slots 1 and 3, not in 1 and 2. And I just pulled out 3 and 4, just randomly. And I think that was messing things up. So tomorrow's video should be a lot smoother. Hopefully. I don't know. I might also have a faulty stick, but yeah. But see, the thing was, I was, while trying to troubleshoot why my computer wasn't even starting the other day, why it just wouldn't come out or wouldn't display anything. I just pulled out 2 of the sticks and yeah, it started up. And I had no idea why it wasn't starting before and why that fixed it. But then I put them back in earlier today, and then the computer did start up. So I don't know. There's something wonky. I don't know if it's software side or hardware side, but I haven't had time to mess with it like in depth. So anyway, Fire Fist Sage says, Nick, I can fix all your computer issues. Ditch that AMD GPU and get a 3090. All problem solved. Dude, I've been trying to find a 3090 for months that doesn't cost me $3,000. And I have not been able to yet. But if I could get my hands on a 3090, I would actually put the 3090 in this machine. I would move this GPU up to a mini box that I'm going to put upstairs. I just have to buy a mini motherboard and then slap this bad boy in there. And then I'd have a streaming machine upstairs for watching Twitch movies and stuff on my couch or in my massage chair, as opposed to here. But yeah, so if I could get a 3090, that would be happy. I would happily do that. All right. Anyway, we're not doing a tech support stream because if we do, I'll do something against the terms of service to myself. Mithran Emmer says, good Lord, Nick, you're a madman. 9 hours earlier and now more streaming. The stream must go on. Okay, here we go. Not applicable says, don't feed that homo. Are you talking about Attorney Tom? Yes. Yes, that would be good. Don't feed that. Don't feed that homo. And Maud Dib says, let us not rail about justice as long as we have arms and the freedom to use them. Oh, I do have a moment to share from the house floor recently. I don't know if it was today or last week, but it was a Texas from House of Representatives, a House of Representative member from the state of Texas, educating Jerry Nadler, who is a giant weeping asshole, on what the purpose of the Second Amendment was. And to watch Jerry Nadler's brain actually break in real time is phenomenal. Phenomenal. So we'll probably talk about that in a little bit. Okay, let's check the meme suit status of Russell Greer here. And then we'll also check out and see if Melinda Scott has dropped any more insanity. So I heard today from, I don't want to call it an inside source because it's not really an inside source, but it's someone who's familiar with the Court of Appeals there in Texas, the Second Court of Appeals. This is about Vic. And the word around the campfire is they're backed up 2 years, which, I mean, they might be, but I think Vic is the oldest case they have on the docket right now. So that shouldn't really surprise anyone because I think it was submitted a while ago. It was submitted almost 2 years ago. At first, it was filed about 2 years ago. But yeah, I think Vic's case is the oldest one there. Don't know. It's the second oldest according to the farms. I thought it was, but I thought they resolved the other one. But either way, it's an old case, but they're really backed up apparently. So that being said, still watching maybe Thursday. Oh, let me tell you how this week is going to look real quick. Every day, except for Thursday, I'll be streaming at 9 o'clock in the morning for the Rittenhouse trial. Thursday, I teach in the morning at 9. I'll probably be starting the stream around 10:15, and I'm going to start at the beginning of the hearing. And so the stream will just be like an hour delayed from live. But we're still going to watch the whole thing. But as soon as I'm done, I already talked to Lady Raggeds. I said, we're going to, if it's cool with you, like take 2 cars, and we will, and I'll shoot back right after my class is over, and then we'll continue on. We're going to watch this, this Kyle Rittenhouse thing, Central Time, 9 a.m. Central Time. Okay. You teach meme law? Pretty much. I teach the Constitution to our high school, homeschool co-op, high school and junior high. It's a lot of fun. Frederick Little says, Nick, if you reach 1 million subscribers on YouTube, how would you celebrate? I have no idea. There's no way. There's no way I'll ever hit that. It's just not like, I can't stop myself from what I consider to be having fun and being funny. I don't care if other people find it funny, but I have too much fun on YouTube to get to 1 million subscribers. Someone's always like, "Oh my, oh, can't believe he said that." And it's like, yeah. The problem is the someone who's saying "oh my" is usually a YouTube employee. And so, for example, like today, I got several people telling me that my live Kyle Rittenhouse coverage, which was on all day and had quite a few, 3,000 people watching pretty consistently through all of it, they couldn't find it. Even on their subscription page for me, they couldn't find it. They had to go directly in to they had to go to Ricada Law to find the video. So it's, I've been dealing with this for a while. YouTube just isn't a huge fan of what I have to say, which I don't know why. I don't know why YouTube wouldn't want me to have more people watching, but it's something I've been dealing with since the Vic case, frankly. I don't know. Maybe it's organic. There's no way to tell. We get no metrics on it. I just know that my videos and live streams don't get distributed in the same way. And by in the same way, I mean even to people who follow the channel. It's just something to do with YouTube, and they have various on-off switches that they swear don't exist. So I don't know, but if I did happen to reach 1 million subscribers on YouTube, how would I celebrate? I don't know. How do you celebrate that? Like, what do you do? Do you hold your like gold play button? Cause that'd be weird. I don't know. Maybe I'll buy like a really expensive whiskey or something. I have no idea. RS DEFCON, did I watch Viva Barnes tonight? No. Love those guys. They're great, but after my show, I was wiped out and had to go, had to make some dinner and check on the house and make sure everything was in order. Deathwish says, I was just watching your Die Hard stream, Rackets. I had a great Saturday night, birthday of the hottest hot that ever hotted, and yet screwed up the best night of the year, Halloween. Wait, I don't get it. How'd that screw up the best night of the year? Mither and Emmer says, Russell Greer and Melinda Scott make me want it to be easier to label someone a vexatious litigant and deny them the ability to file in form of pauperis. Abuse the system, lose your access. I agree. Yeah, Matthew Beckwith says Barnes went hard on Mark Richards, Binger, and John Hancock. It's David Hancock. Is who Barnes is talking about, I believe. if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the Barnes thing is really, really interesting. There's probably something going on behind the scenes, and that's it. It'd be great to know, but we're flies on the wall of not that room. So I don't know how we find out. I'm gonna talk to Barnes about it and see what he'll tell me that I can share. And with that, I don't know. I almost had David Hancock on the show actually last week, but timings didn't work out for me on my end. And now I don't know what's what. I don't know what's up with the guy. He said he was involved with Free Kyle USA and asked if I would like some insight on the Kyle Rittenhouse case on the show. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. And then now, like, I don't know what's going on with him, with Free Kyle USA, with Barnes. I don't know. So trying to figure out how to manage all this. Yeah, Barnes is no fan of Hancock, but the question is like, okay, who's in charge of the money? What's all that stuff? I don't know. Danny says Barnes was done dirty. Apparently, Richard's probably seeking glory he's never had. Maybe. I don't know. I think there are some, and again, I don't know if this is the case here, but I think there are certainly some reasonable reasons why someone would want to run their own trial and not have another attorney on that. I mean, I get it. But that being said, I don't, I'm not saying that, I get where Barnes is pissed, and I don't know that it's the right move. Just saying, I get that there are times when attorneys may not want to have, oh my gosh. May not want to have someone else riding with them. But yeah, it could be glory. I have no idea. My concern is for Kyle. I just hope that the trial ends up being competently run. That's the main objective that we all have to remember, is that right now the question is Kyle going to get an adequate defense? If so, great. And the lawyer issues can be resolved and discussed later. If not, I mean, then those lawyer issues become really important. So, how many monitors do I have? What's their name? I have 3. So, looking all over the place. Okay. So, Russell Greer. You know what? I said we were going to go through Russell's stuff, but his main case against Joshua Moon, we actually read the order on it. I had forgotten. So that's done. But he does have his case against America's Got Talent. And I think we were in the middle of reading that. Oh my God, and he filed something yesterday. A motion for a preliminary injunction. Okay. Will I use the lips? Maybe. Maybe. Oh my God. These people, Russell and Melinda. The problem with these people is they have nothing in their life. They have nothing. So they can just write constantly. Just so many things. So Russell's motion for a preliminary injunction in this case is 22 pages. 22 pages of this. Here, let's pull it up. So this is Russell suing America's Got Talent, if you don't remember, or well, the parent company of America that puts on America's Got Talent, Fremantle Productions. They just have endless time to write and type and type and type and type and type and type. And you know, these are not smart people. These are not people who are competent in legal matters with lots of experience. Where what I mean is, they're not people who have a format for this, right? Like Russell Greer does not have a track record of winning preliminary injunction motions. So he'll have to go out and research all of these cases fresh for every document. Trust me, as someone who practiced law, the small town lawyer bit where you take whatever case comes through the door, as someone who's had to practice law like this, it takes an inordinate amount of time to research new areas of law that you don't have down pat. Now, if you're doing your 50th injury claim, right? Slip and fall. You just do slip and falls, right? You're on your 50th one. It's like, okay, here's your demand for a chiropractor. Here's all the case law around slip and falls and everything. You know these things in and out. You do them all the time. And so you kind of get a pattern down. You get a feel for the cases that you're going to pull up. You probably have a file on them in your Westlaw subscription or whatever, so you reference them really quickly. You know this stuff. If you don't, you got it. A 20-page document. I mean, this is severe amounts of hours of work to do this. What up, RGE Raiders? Welcome to the show. Much appreciate having you guys here. Oh, also, earlier in the show, earlier in the day, that Kyle Rittenhouse stream, 4,000 likes. Do you know how much liquor my poor body is having to process because of you people? You people. Yeah, I mean it. All right. So here is Russell's motion for a preliminary injunction. We didn't get through. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. We didn't even get through his complaint. His 72-page complaint. This man can't be stopped. He's unstoppable. Here's his complaint. We stopped somewhere around here. So maybe we should, or no, it was a little bit past this. I can recap this for you. Here's about where we left off. If you don't remember, Russell is suing America's Got Talent because he didn't make it on the show. But he tried really hard, though. And did you also know that his face is paralyzed because he's some sort of hideous monster? And because he's a hideous monster from the depths of a Lovecraftian horror novel, he needs special help because he's not entertaining. God doesn't want him to be. So he has to hire other people to have talent for him. So Russell Greer spent a bunch of money, about $2,000 allegedly, hiring a band. And then he spent another, allegedly, approximately $1,000 renting a space for the band to practice. The song that he wrote, which is, I think, You Look Like Me, Heidi Klum. Yes, that is Russell saying that Heidi Klum looks like him. Now, I don't know how bad Seal abused and beat Heidi Klum. She used to be really hot. Maybe busted her up really bad, and now she looks like Russ. I don't know, but that seems like an awful, an awful type thing to say to Heidi Klum, and she doesn't deserve that. She doesn't deserve that. But yeah, so he did this, and then they auditioned via Zoom. All right, because of COVID, they did all their auditions by Zoom, and the one producer who watched their cattle call audition via Zoom was like, "Oh, you guys are great. This is a great song. Tell you what, why don't you go ahead and upload a video of that like everybody else will. And yeah, you just submit it on this page. And yeah, it was really good though. It's really good. You just submit that video on the page and then you might get an email in like 6 months, but it was so good. So you might get an email in like 6 months or something to see how you're doing. So good. Such a good show. And then if you get that email, then you move on. It's really good though. Thank you. Thank you for your time and effort. And so that happens. So Russell and his bandmates allegedly all hug and do like little butt pats or whatever, which is weird. Is what he's saying. That they had their celebration because they were so enthused and encouraged by the feedback from the producer. But then they never got the email, which of course they didn't get the email. Their act wasn't good enough for the show. And everybody had to submit those things. Maybe every passable act, like there might have been some where the producer, we don't even know. See, that's one of the problems with Russell's case. We don't even know if a single act was told not to submit a video. It's very possible that every act was told to submit a video because that was the actual process. And then the review process would occur later with the producers picking the people who would go on, by reviewing the videos, which makes a lot of sense because it's just a more efficient way to do it. You get a couple decision makers in the room, and then they go through and just bam, 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 hammer out these videos. But it's possible that everyone got told to submit a video. Even if not, it's possible that every act that wasn't just absolutely abysmal got told to submit a video, and then it was a further elimination process. This is a talent show. This is you're not going to get accommodations. You're not going to get any of these things out of a talent show for stuff like this. It just doesn't work because it's a subjective selection process. It would be a really hard thing to show unless they didn't have any disabled people on the show. But of course they've had disabled people in the show. Of course they have Black people in the show and Hispanic people in the show and Latinx people in the show. They have everybody. It doesn't matter what you are. Yeah, you don't even have to be American to get on America's Got Talent, right? I saw one, they had like a Mongolian singer who sang like these like old 50s country songs, but he didn't speak a lick of English. He could just mimic the sounds. It was weird, like Gene Autry and stuff. So you're just not going to get this stuff. But anyway, so Russell sues them because he doesn't make it onto the show. He sues them and he says that they owe him an accommodation as a disabled person. And that accommodation is that America's Got Talent has to pay for his band because his disability requires him to have a band to be fair with everybody else in a show that is inherently unfair because it's literally about talent. Like I can't play guitar. It's unfair. I mean, I'm disabled. I'm unable to play guitar. Because of my disability. So therefore, I can hire, a good guitar. I can hire Eric Clapton to get up on stage and make a racist rant against Jamaicans while playing guitar. And that talent is then imputed to me. That would be imputed onto me, right? Or I could hire Eric Clapton to, well, no, I don't want to hire Eric Clapton because I like my kids. I want them alive, so whatever. You could, that's the crazy theory of where all this goes. And Russell has no cognitive ability to foresee just how impractical the things he's demanding are. Remember with Taylor Swift, What Russell was suing for was that every single time a celebrity acknowledged a gift from a fan, they would have to give a legal disclaimer that they don't acknowledge all gifts. So you can't get your hopes up. He just wanted to compel the speech of every single solitary, mildly famous person who got a gift to say, well, hashtag not all gifts will be acknowledged on this broadcast, on these broadcasts by this person, which is a ludicrous thing. Saying thank you to someone does not mean that everybody's entitled to a thank you. And no one thinks that way except delusional morons like Russell Greer. So that's what he's now doing to America's Got Talent. The extent of how a ruling in Russell Greer's favor here would go, and he will not get one, make no mistake, but the extent of that would be off the charts. I'm sorry, I don't have any legs, so I can't show you my dancing talent, but inside I'm really, really good. So I hired the fucking Riverdance people, and now America's Got Talent owes me $250,000 for hiring the cast of Riverdance as an accommodation. Well, like what is this? And they're also forced to have my cast of Riverdance do the show for me. Like how far does this thing go? It's crazy. It's crazy town. Hold on. Isa Aaron Up. Isa Aaron Up. I hope that's how I pronounce that. It says crypto miner here apologizing for the terrible GPU market. Set up a crypto wallet we can donate to, would you? Sure. I'll do that. I've been meaning to do that anyway because I'm kind of interested in NFTs. James Streisand says, hey, Nick, I moved to Dallas recently and I'm looking to get my meditation certification since I apparently have some skills transferable to the field. Soothing voice, translating between multiple parties, etc. Have any advice? No. I have no idea how to get your meditation certification. Wait, do you mean mediation? Do you mean mediation certification? You've got to mean mediation. It says meditation, probably got auto-corrected. Here I am, like, what the hell do I know about meditation? My meditation is screaming into a glass of whiskey and then drinking the rage that is brewed into it back down. Yeah, in Minnesota, there is no certified mediation or mediator. Anybody can do it. And actually to represent yourself as a certified mediator becomes problematic since there is no certification. That's Minnesota specific. So in Dallas, I really don't know. I don't have any advice for you other than go get that certification, then get that bread. Man, mediators get paid a couple $100 an hour. It's a good racket if you can get into it. I've done some mediations, not as a mediator. Oh, thank God. I have mediated things amongst friends, not in a legal capacity, but I've participated in a couple mediations as representing one of the parties, and a good mediator makes a lot of difference. B-Man0013, your words are hurtful. Ben, who is this? Register your channel on the Brave browser so people can donate to you on there. Ben, I have been on the Brave browser registration forever on this on all my channels. All three of them are registered on Brave. So if people use Brave, you already can. My Twitter is also registered on Brave. So that's there. So there you go. Okay. So that's where this case is. That's where we left off, right? Russ is basically saying that they have to give him these accommodations. Oh, and he hired a law firm to threaten America's Got Talent And shockingly, the law firm or America's Got Talent just wouldn't respond to him. So he's also saying that their failure to respond to him is a violation of the Americans with Disability Act as well, which I can guarantee you he's reading that wrong. So, yeah, I want to make an NFT of the first time I said how embarrassing. I want to make an NFT of like every time Ron did a winky face in Ronversations. Look, the grift must go on. The grift must go on. I can NFT the shit out of stuff. NFT the time that Joe Neerman threw up on my stream, or NFT the time that Uncivil Law threw up on my stream, or NFT the time that I threw up on my stream. Look at this. Look at all these NFTs. Okay. Here we are. So we're at this section, Title 3 of the Americans with Disability Act. The first super chat. Yeah, there you go. On July 26, 1990, Congress enacted the Americans with Disability Act to provide clear and comprehensive national mandate for the elimination of discrimination against individuals with disabilities. Congress also enacted the ADA to assure individuals with disabilities have full participation in public accommodations. So I'm not positive that America's Got Talent Zoom auditions qualify as a public accommodation. They have he had full participation in it. Mithran Emirates says, for the viewer asking about mediation in Texas, no certification, but there is a 4-day course for basic mediation, an additional 3-day course to mediate for family law cases. Check law schools for trainings. Oh, yes. In 3 days, you too can learn how to mediate difficult life-altering cases amongst families. I love training and stuff, like legal training things. It's so great. Title 3 of the ADA, codified as 42 USC 12182, protects the rights of disabled individuals in places of public accommodation. Courts have held that production companies offering privileges and chances to compete on a show do, in fact, qualify as a place of public accommodation. Rendon versus Valleycrest, which involved disabled contestants being unfairly screened out to be contestants on the game show Millionaire. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Regis Philbin? Okay. Not affecting defendant's speech. As a preliminary caution for this court to help ponder the claims, since America's Got Talent is not a scripted show, it is not linked to an artistic narrative. Unlike a scripted show in which there is an intended message tied to a scripted artistic narrative, reality television shows do not seek to hire contestants to convey a particular message. That's not true. That's clearly untrue. And not only is it untrue, Russell Greer disagreed with this earlier when he said that producers pick great sob stories. That America's Got Talent is not just a show based on talent, but based on people with the best sob story. He even calls it a sob story. So he is absolutely incorrect about this. He disagrees with himself. Another fantastic drafting job, Russell. You always want to disagree with yourself on these things. A great strategy. Beautiful. Rather, they seek to hire for an intended purpose depicting real life in a reality-based setting. No, not true. Again, America's Got Talent is a reality television show in the sense that it is quote unquote nonfiction, but that doesn't mean it's not narratively driven or has an artistic vision or anything of the sort. And it's certainly not depicting real life. It's actually depicting exceptional bits of life. The whole idea behind a talent show is that this person is the exception to normal, that this person possesses something that we would aspire. Like if you want to play guitar, you want to play it like this guy who's playing guitar while blind, taking a dump and playing drums with his feet, right? Like that's what you want to do. You want to learn how to do archery the same way that a chick who is a contortionist is doing a handstand and shooting the bow and arrow with her feet into an apple out of Howie Long's mouth. That's Howie Long? Howie Mandel. Who's Howie Long? Howie Mandel's mouth, right? That's America's Got Talent. This is not real life. This is snippets of exceptional talent or skill or practice. With America's Got Talent, it's to show off talent and compete for a prize, not to portray a message of a screenwriter. Oh, are we pretending that these shows aren't screenwritten and just by very nature of having literally a million people try out for the show, that they don't get to just easily fill the roles that they're trying to craft for that season? Like, are we still there, Russ? Okay. Thus, without being tied to an artistic message, casting decisions in neutral reality programs are not subject to broad First Amendment treatment. And so the governmental goal of promoting diversity on television should trump any First Amendment claims of Fremantle. And he cites an immovable object and an unstoppable force, reconciling the First Amendment and anti-discrimination laws in the Claybooks Court from Vanderbilt's Journal of Entertainment and Technology Law. So he's summarizing some piece of this article. Notice he doesn't have a single quote in there about it. You're just supposed to get this law review article or this entertainment and technology law journal article. You're supposed to get all of that and just trust that that's what this article stands for, at least in part. Straining my ability to suspend my disbelief here. With that said, this case is not challenging Fremantle's speech. Then why are you talking about it? Nor the expressive content of America's Got Talent, but rather this case is holding Fremantle liable for their failing to make a reasonable modification for Greer per ADA Title III and the resulting emotional fallout from their outrageous and reckless conduct. Then everything you just said is irrelevant, according to you. Why say it? Mithrin Emmer says, also, Texas refers to it as being a trained, neutral third party for the purposes of mediation. Gotta love that legal jargon. Yes, we call them neutrals here too. But you can be both an attorney and a neutral in Minnesota. Man, I should be a neutral rather than taking on cases. I'll just occasionally do a mediation. Waltz in, $180 an hour or whatever. Sit there and listen to some people whine and complain back and forth. Go tell the other side something that the one didn't say just to piss them off. Just kidding. That's a joke. All right. Count one. Discrimination on the basis of disability in violation of U.S. Code 4212182-2A2. Defendant failed to make modifications to their procedures and practices. Title III of the ADA provides that no individual should be discriminated against on the basis of disability in the full and equal enjoyment of the goods, services, facilities, privileges, advantages, or accommodations of any place of public accommodation. Although Title III of the ADA does not have the words qualified individual with a disability, courts have been instructed to apply Title II's wording to Title III from Berkovich versus Baldwin. I don't know what that is. Baldwin Scholastic, maybe, Incorporated. As established above with Rendon, Fremantle is a public accommodation as they were offering privileges and advantages to compete on their show. AGT for a $1 million prize, and they are a private entertainment entity. As previously established, Greer has a disability as defined by the ADA, as it substantially limits his communication, substantially limits his social opportunities. Okay, wait, I got to do it. Brendan versus Valleycrest Productions. So this is an 11th Circuit case, which is interesting because it's a 9th Circuit case that Russell has filed, right? We're in 9th Circuit, I think, Nevada. Yeah. So, buddies, okay. What is the synopsis of this case? Complaint alleges that Valleycrest Productions and the American Broadcasting Network violated the Americans with Disability Act by operating a telephone selection process that screened out disabled individuals who wished to be contestants on the show. Okay, yeah, here we go. Perfect. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? The district court dismissed plaintiff's complaint upon finding that because the automated Telephone contestant selection process was not conducted at a physical location. It was not a place of public accommodation under the ADA. Plaintiffs now appeal. For the reasons discussed below, we conclude that plaintiffs state a valid Title III claim in alleging that a contestant hotline was a discriminatory procedure that screened out disabled persons aspiring to compete on Millionaire, place of public accommodation. Okay, so again, Russ had the opportunity. Russ had the reasonable accommodation to compete because he did. He tried out. He went there. Nothing prevented his disability did not prevent him from participating in the selection process via Zoom. So Russ did not lose out on the privilege of the possibility of competing. So he's got a case that stands for something that has nothing to do with his case, and he's using that to back up his position. Because again, Russ doesn't know how to do this. He has no idea how to do this, and it's shown because he loses over and over and over. The Rendon case is about people who cannot use telephones being unable to participate because they can't use a telephone, and the only way to participate is you got to use a telephone. But Russ was able to participate. He participated in the screening process. He just lost. God, this is why this guy is a bad guy. His disability is not the problem. His attitude is. He thinks he's owed the win on America's Got Talent. I can almost promise you, if Russell Greer got to the television portion, good to see you there. I wrote this song for Heidi Klum. I hope she sleeps with me. If he got to do that and lost, no matter where in the competition he lost, he would still sue for the same thing. Because Russ isn't suing on the principles of the ADA. Russ is suing for losing. Russ is suing for losing at life over and over. Constantly suing for losing at life. Which the person Russ needs to sue himself is himself. That's who he needs to sue. It's his fault that he's losing at life. No one else. Is there a better time in history to have a facial deformity than now? You have in many civilizations of the past, they would have thrown him from the tower top, right? Left him out, put him in a river or something. He would have died. He'd be dead. If they didn't kill him, he would have died because they wouldn't have been able to care for him. Now, not only does he get to live, but someone with a disability. And think about it this way. I have a disability, pretty major one that would have probably ended up with me dead in a past civilization as well. Don't see very well until I got LASIK. My eyes went south and I didn't have good vision. If you have really bad vision, guess what? You weren't going to make it in the past. Just having shit vision. They didn't have corrective lenses for a really long time. You got eaten by the lion you didn't see. Nowadays, there's so much there's so much accommodation for someone with a disability. And no, it's not perfect, but my God, the expectation he has is that they'll just give him everything. All right. As previously established, Greer has a disability as defined by the ADA, as it substantially limits his communication, substantially limits his social opportunities. Said disability had plaintiff at a disadvantage when auditioning. And here's where he just misunderstands what the ADA is for. It doesn't provide, you're not supposed to get an accommodation for your performance. You're supposed to get an accommodation for your ability to show up. And you showed up by Zoom, just like everybody else. 42-12-182-282 holds that it's discrimination to fail to make reasonable modifications in policies, practices, or procedures when such modifications are necessary to afford such goods, services, facilities, privileges, advantages, or accommodations to individuals with disabilities. To state a Title III claim, plaintiff shows that he is a disabled as term is defined by the ADA. Defendant is a private entity that owns, leases, or operates a place of public accommodation. Defendant employed a discriminatory policy or practice, and the defendant discriminated against plaintiff based on the plaintiff's disability by failing to make a reasonable, requested reasonable modification that was necessary to accommodate the plaintiff's disability. Where did he request the accommodation? I don't know that Russ ever actually requested a reasonable modification beforehand. He actually, it's almost definitely didn't. And this might be where the judge just goes, yeah, you failed to plead this out, because Russell didn't request the modification until he lost. Russ did not go in and say, you need to hire me a band. He didn't start with that. he just lost, and then he bitched about it. So he's going to have, I would think, a problem with 4A there. And necessary to accommodate the plaintiff's disability, which, of course, all of this is silliness. But having shown that Greer has a disability under the ADA and that Fremantle was offering entertainment privileges and advantages as a public accommodation, the contention plaintiff raises is not that Fremantle employed a discriminatory policy, but rather Fremantle's AGT producers failed to adhere to company policies of affording opportunities to disabled contestants and abiding by Fremantle's commitment to equal access for people with disabilities, and thus it had a discriminatory effect in practice. The policy is explained as follows. Oh, okay. This will be great. Mithran Emmer says, I hope AGT's lawyers demand a transfer of venue to the district court in LA and no Zoom hearings. Want to pursue this, Russell? Pony up to travel to California for all hearings. Super Iron Bob says, Nick, I should be neutered. 11/1/2001. Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. That's me quoted as saying I should be neutered. All right. So here's their policy explanation. So again, he's not saying that they have a discriminatory policy, which is he's not saying discriminatory policy. So I guess this is a discriminatory practice. So he's arguing against them having a discriminatory policy, that they deviated from it. I don't know. That's different. So the policy is explained as follows. Back in 2011, Fremantle agreed that it would make modifications for disabled contestants upon written request. This agreement was made between the DOJ and Fremantle Media after 3 discrimination complaints were filed regarding their show, Price is Right, settled under a settled agreement under the ADA between USA, Fremantle, and CBS. 2 complaints had to do with structure issues, and the third complaint, unknown if he/she was an actual or wannabe contestant, had to do with a lack of disabled people on the show. In part, the policy reads, Fremantle recognizes that the American public welcomes a television game show in which all individuals, including persons with all types of disabilities, have an equal opportunity to be selected as a contestant. Yet didn't Jeopardy have that blind guy who kicked everybody's ass for a while? Let's see. Have equal opportunity to be selected as a contestant, participate, compete for prizes, and win. Fremantle is therefore committed to providing equal access to individuals with disabilities to be considered and selected as contestants and to compete for and win prizes. Great. Per paragraph 17 of the 2011 ADA agreement, consistent with its current stated practices, Fremantle will make reasonable modifications to policies, practices, and procedures to afford opportunities and access to individuals with disability, including but not limited to individuals who wish to become a contestant on the show. Reasonable modifications are exceptions, modifications, and adjustments to policies, practices, and procedures that are necessary to avoid discrimination against an individual with a disability. Requests for reasonable modifications may be made orally or in writing by or on behalf of an individual with a disability. Even though this agreement was made for The Price is Right, there's no reason Fremantle as a company can't adhere. Oh, wait. So this Price is Right, not Jeopardy. Can't adhere to similar modification policies for all of its programs. How would you be blind on The Price is Right? Like, if you think about it, how would that even work? Right? You got to go. It's like, you have to guess the price of these items. How about this one? What is it? I can't see you. Where is it? Like, what? What a disaster. Okay, sorry. Because in Exhibit C of the DOJ Fremantle Agreement, a document states that Fremantle has a commitment to public access for people with disabilities, in addition to paragraph 82, which pointed out consistent to its current stated policies or practices. This seems to read that Fremantle's policy applies to all of its shows consistently. Additionally, the document states that Fremantle makes reasonable accommodations that may be necessary to provide equal access for individuals with disabilities be selected, compete, and win on the show, assuming this applies to all of their shows. Actually, the show was probably a legally defined term in that same agreement you're reading, Russ. If you just look, that considering show is capitalized, I'm guessing it's referring to a specific show. Probably The Price is Right. I'm gonna assume Russ gets this wrong because I don't need to check it out. Greer cannot find a company-wide anti-discrimination policy for Fremantle. However, looking through their website, it says, "We believe in giving all people a voice. We are committed to stories of diversity across genres, continents, and cultures." However, the DOJ website defines a settlement agreement as an out-of-court resolution that requires a signed agreement, memorandum of understanding, and performance by the defendant. Performance in this regard could infer the DOJ meant for Fremantle to apply that agreement and policy liberally, since, as stated, Exhibit C makes it seem Fremantle has a wide policy. Russ, performance is a term of art in contract law that means that they have a signed agreement with consideration, and that consideration is that they won't be fined out of their fucking mind by the DOJ for violating the ADA so long as they adhere to what's in the signed agreement. That's the consideration. They'll make these accommodations, and the DOJ won't sue them into oblivion. And then the performance is just following what's in the agreement. It has nothing to do outside of the document. Performance is a contract term of art. It means to do what your agreement says specifically. God, this fucking moron. It makes no logical or legal or practical sense that the same policies can't be expected for AGT. Well, I mean, it's a different show with different accommodations that would be necessary than The Price is Right. So he's got footnote 23 or 2 and 3. I don't know why he has 2 and 3 on the same thing. At the time of this writing, Greer has reached out to the DOJ attorney who helped reach this agreement with Fremantle. Oh, God, I hope this guy responds and becomes Russell's best friend. And see if the attorney believes the agreement was meant to be applied broadly. He will update the court with a response. And if the DOJ attorney doesn't respond, Russell sue him under the ADA. 3, if a company in general has a certain department, say their legal department, sanctioned by the DOJ, obviously it wouldn't excuse another department, their finance department, to continue with the complaint of behavior. That's not the same thing as having 2 distinct shows with different qualifications and never mind. Can I make the text larger? Sure. I'll make a reasonable accommodation for you blind people. With the policy laid out, although Greer was a qualified individual. Upon a closer reading, it appears that the policy applies to all of its shows, e.g. the sentence consistent to its current stated practices. Russ, why is Russ in real time modifying his position here? If you wrote the section before and then made a closer reading and came to a different conclusion, don't put the previous conclusion in the document. It's not like you're saying this as you go. It's not like you're orally reciting this to someone live. You just edit it. You go, oh, you know what? On second thought, I read it this way, and that's what I'm going to go with. And you just write that down. You get rid of with the policy laid out, although Greer was a qualified individual and contestant, qualified per the Zoom producers' favorable feedback. The producers for Fremantle discriminated against plaintiff by failing to adhere to its own policy of affording opportunities to disabled contestants by overlooking that Greer's efforts were made to act as a reasonable accommodation. and that his efforts were necessary for him to compete on the show, which he made clear in his informational form he was provided and that he filled out in one of the videos he submitted online. He wasn't just another act in the competition. Russell is special. You have to understand. He's more important than you. He's more important than anybody else. He's not just another person. It's not just another act. He's more specialer than everybody. The producers overlooked that Greer wasn't investing in the band for the heck of it. No, Russ, they thought you invested in the band to have them perform. He was investing in the band as a reasonable accommodation. Elon Musk should just hire some really good act and go on AGT and see, like, my talent is hiring other people. I'm really good at it. Look at this. Contrast Greer's accommodation investment with a person who buys an expensive drum kit for the show. The drummer makes that investment as a risk. Greer made his investment as a necessary accommodation. That is the difference in what the producers seemed to overlook. Fucking hell. When Greer stated he had a disability and that his efforts in forming this group were to accommodate his disability, that should have triggered a deeper analysis of his audition. Maybe it did, Russ. And the policies as stated above should have kicked in and had been applied to ensure that a disabled contestant would have opportunities to go on the show. This is a 12B6 motion textbook. He has failed to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. Period. Like there's no claim for relief in this because all they have to do is say, we did, he didn't make it because it's a talent show. He got to try out. Everybody got to try out. He didn't make it. And he's never going to make it because he's really stupid. Let's see. Not just opportunities to preliminary audition in the cattle call audition, but opportunities to compete on the actual show's audition, which is why Greer made a $3,000 accommodation. And this is the story of Russell's life. First of all, if you're writing a legal document, don't write a $3,000 accommodation. Write out $3,000. If you're writing a legal document and you have numbers, write the words for the numbers out unless it's more than 2 words. If you have 24, write 24. If you have 115, that's 3 words. 115. Right? Don't just write 115. Write it out if it's 2 words or less. 3,000. Very simple. Write that. It looks better. 3K looks stupid. The existence of a policy of non-discrimination is prima facie evidence of awareness on the part of Fremantle and its producers of the federally protected rights of plaintiff and their duty in ensuring reasonable accommodations and equal access. Important to note, Greer isn't saying he couldn't access the preliminary cattle call audition Zoom session or that there were any structural issues. Well, then you lose. Equal access here means equal participation on the live show, because what good is it to say that disabled people have rights to participate on the show, but any rarely ever advance? He loses his case right here. He's lost it a million times. Here, disabled AGT competitors 2021. Who is Josh Blue on America's Got Talent 2021? Finalist is not only a top-notch comedian. Let's see, what has he got? Oh, he has cerebral palsy. So one of the finalists is a guy who is disabled. One of the finalists on the show is a disabled comedian. There you go. Look at him. Look at him. What's more, fans of Last Comic Standing might recognize him as the 2006 winner of the competition series. In fact, Josh competed on the U.S. Paralympic soccer team in the 2004 Athens Paralympics. So this is a Paralympian. the definitive disabled person. Russ, it's just your stupid face. This is a finalist. How's he going to say? Well, they don't accept disabled people. Well, I would love to play some of his stand-up act. Some people in the chat are saying he's really great and really good. I believe it. That's an instant copyright. Like you play a network show like that. Just a mess. Oh, an update. The show Drex and I did where we watched the Bebop trailer, and we watched the guy throw himself onto the cactus. I got 2 copyright claims on that show. One from the Bebop trailer from Netflix, and the other from the guy who threw, or the group with the guy who threw himself on the cactus. And one of those 2 parties has released the claim after I sent my counter notifications to both of them. One of them has released it. And it may surprise you to find out that that was Netflix that released it. The other one has not yet. They have technically up to 30 days. But Netflix is the group that released the claim. Cactus Bro has not yet. The best part of that is, so when you do these counter notifications, it goes to someone, right? And at a company like Netflix, it's just going to be some legal assistant or whatever who gets to see it. But you get to, they get to see your message, right? Your message is to them. So I told them, I said, we were actually, this is fully transformative work. We were discussing, for the purposes of criticism, because we were discussing just how bad this trailer is, just how bad this show is, just how stupid Netflix is, just how terrible this is going to be. And some jackass at Netflix is sitting there reading it, going, yeah, this is gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad, definitely bad. But yeah, so that was fun. Okay, here we go. The producers should have adhered to their policies to ensure that Greer could have advanced to the next round. That's not their policy. Based on the ADA agreement of equal participation, that's not the agreement at all. The policies Fremantle agreed to with the DOJ are just lip service. The disparity and lack of presence of visible disabled contestants, finalist, okay, shows that Fremantle's avowal of advocacy is backed up by empty deeds. Indeed, the ADA defines discrimination as a public accommodation, treating a disabled patron the same as other patrons, despite the former's need for a reasonable modification, which goes back to paragraph 87. Treating Greer the same as a drummer who makes a financial risk, despite the fact that Greer made it as a financial accommodation that was necessary to compete. No, they would be treating you not the same if they gave you money, Russ, or if they put you through because you short bust your way in. Like neither of those things are treating you the same. You're asking for preferable treatment. Mithran Emmer says, even were Russell correct on his argument, he isn't. To be reasonable, any required accommodation cannot place more than a de minimis burden on AGT. A $3,000 expense to hire a band is not de minimis end. But have you considered how much money AGT makes? From the policy above, equal access and equal participation could easily be argued that Greer put in enough effort to go on the show and audition in front of the celebrity judges. But I tried really hard and I didn't make it. God, this guy sucks. Oh, I can't. If that isn't convincing, then based on the effort Greer put in to accommodate his disability per the policy, he should have been given an opportunity to go on the show because of the stipulation made with the DOJ to afford opportunities for disabled contestants. Again, what's the point of having policies if they're not implemented or if disabled people can compete on the preliminary auditions, but any rarely advance to the actual show rounds in front of the celebrity judges? This is such a weird way to say this, but any rarely advance. I mean, I get what he's saying. It just doesn't flow well to me. He almost needs like any competitors or any disabled competitors, just something in there. But any rarely, just it comes off really awkward. Such oversight stem from the acts and practices of the AGT producers. Oversight is established with Greer's YouTube video having no views until after filming started, when the lawyer sent the letter, so it can safely be assumed anything else Greer wrote, such as explaining his disability and accommodations, were ignored as well. Nope. Can't assume that at all. Making an assumption in a federal complaint, an assumption, Russ, these are facts that are being stated. They're being asserted as true. So you don't get to make an assumption. By Fremantle failing to see that Greer utilized reasonable accommodations that were necessary for him to compete for the privileges and advantages of AGT, he wasn't just another act in ignoring or overlooking the effort he put in as a disabled contestant, and thus treating him like other non-disabled contestants. The rejection and oversight had a discriminatory effect in practice by Fremantle, not following their policies and adhering to the ADA to give plaintiff equal access and a chance at competing for the advantages and privileges of AGT by going on to the filmed show. You know what would be really funny, by the way? It's very possible that somewhere in the fine print of AGT's agreement for audition, that you agree for your audition to be valid to submit a YouTube video at the request of a producer, and that you grant a non-revocable license, non-exclusive, non-revocable license to America's Got Talent to utilize any of that footage. And so they could run B-roll of Greer's audition, hypothetically speaking, right? Like that would be something that they could use in marketing and promotional materials or whatever. I wonder if that's actually in the contract or the participation contract that Russell signed. That would be even funnier. If not only would they have not let him on, but if they would have gotten a license in his video, and then it'd be even better if they use that B-roll footage somewhere. That would be great. Zero said, yeah, he said, did he just complain that they treated him like any other contestant? Yes. I mean, short answer, yes. After the producers discriminated against Greer by not letting him compete for the privileges. Oh, Jesus Christ. For the privileges and advantages of AGT on the celebrity audition of the show, and ignoring that his efforts were meant to be accommodations, he then sought modification from Fremantle to modify the rejection. Okay. Again, modifying the rejection isn't a reasonable accommodation either. Mithrin, my man, this guy, I can't comprehend the level of stupid that's going on. Does your brain hurt, Mithrin? Mine does. Mine does. When Greer's contract attorney contacted Fremantle through it, contracted attorney, contact is what you should have said, contacted Fremantle through the letter in April 2021, Fremantle failed to address the discriminatory actions of the producers and their mistake of rejecting a qualified contestant with a disability and modify their oversight of Greer's accommodation efforts. Modification in this instance would have been that even though Greer was not selected for the 2021 show, a modification would have been seeing how much Greer invested in his cattle call audition to compensate as an accommodation, seeing that he was actually talented and letting him on the celebrity round audition of the show for the 2022 season. What? So not only does he get paid for his band, he also automatically gets a slot on next year without having to audition. This is insane. As the legal reconsideration letter asked for, without him having to cattle call audition again, like the AGT helpline told him to do, as he was a qualified contestant per the Zoom producer's favorable reaction. He is. Hold on. How far does this actually go? So we're on page 21. I'm guessing some of this is evident. 34 pages. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I can keep reading this. Look at how much he wrote to say nothing at all. I might need a break from Russ in a minute. Oh my God. He's relying on his perception of a producer's reaction being favorable as a promise that he was going to advance. That's what he's relying on. This fits within the policy of Fremantle as shown in paragraph 80 to allow exceptions and modifications for contestants. Modification would be necessary to afford plaintiff Fremantle's privileges and advantages, as it would be redundant to make plaintiff preliminary audition again in the cattle call audition. There is no guarantee that plaintiff wouldn't be rejected, ignored again due to producer oversight. It's not why you were rejected, and lose even more money and suffer more damages if he were going to go through preliminary cattle call auditions again. Nor is he in the same financial position to gather accommodations to audition again. The only way he could have accommodations help him is through an agreement or court order with Fremantle to let him on the next season of the show. Mithrin says, oh, you didn't have to super chat respond. Damn it. Mithrin says, yep, Russell has a fundamental misunderstanding of the ADA, required accommodations, and the burden on the other party. I only know what I do because our LRW2 brief was on an ADA issue. Oh my gosh. You sent the AGT video submission contract release via Discord? Oh, okay. Let's see what we got here. So eligibility requirements, audition video content. Okay. Audition videos must conform to the requirements of these terms and conditions, as well as the AGT auditions terms of service. But these terms and conditions in terms of service may be amended from time to time. Video should be no greater than 2 to 3 minutes. Act may include a short introduction, no more than 30 seconds, stating the name of the act, age, members, where the act is from, any other information the act would like to convey. Audition videos must not contain material which is sexually explicit, obscene, pornographic, violent. So none of Russell's face. That's very obscene. For example, relating to murder, weapons, cruelty, abuse, etc. Discriminatory based on race, sex, religion, national origin, physical disability, sexual orientation, or age. Illegal. For example, underage drinking, substance abuse, computer hacking, etc. What if you're a talent competitor that's like, look how much I can drink at 9 years old? I'm drinking an entire bottle of Jack Daniels at 9 years old, and I don't even fucking care about you. That'd be fantastic. What an act that would be. Okay. Here we go. Judging. Audition videos submitted for consideration in this online audition will be judged according to the same parameters as other auditions for the program. If the act is selected to progress in the audition process to the callback round of the competition, the act may be required to provide or arrange for the act's own travel to the audition callback, which will be at a location selected by producer in its sole discretion. If any member of the act is a minor, that individual's parent or legal guardian must accompany them to the audition callback and may also provide or arrange his or her own travel for the audition callback. Further documentation. How is Russ going to afford the trip? Oh, I guess he lives in Vegas now, so it'd be easier or something. Further documentation. In the event producer chooses the act to participate in the program auditions, the act will be required by the producer to fill out, sign, and agree to all of the terms and conditions of additional forms, including without limitation, participant agreement and release and confidentiality agreement. In addition, the act will be required to complete an extensive background questionnaire and will be subject to a thorough background investigation and other examinations. Oh, Russ, you're going to get disqualified real quick. You are going to get disqualified immediately when they do a background check. Find out that you've been convicted for cyber stalking, that you've sued everybody on the planet, all these famous people who might actually make appearances or guest appearances on the show. There's no way they're going to bring you in. Let's see. And other examinations at producer's discretion. If any member is a minor, both individual and the minor's parent or legal guardian must each sign the forms, blah, 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 if and when requested by producer. Any minor members, blah, okay, boring, have the release signed and notarized. If producer chooses the act to continue to the next round of the competition, the act will be required to sign a recording contract songwriting contract, talent management contract, live stage touring contract, and or merchandising contract at producer's sole and absolute discretion. The act's family or guests. Okay, all of them must be filled out completely and truthfully. Got it. Producer reserves the right to disqualify and or exclude in his sole and absolute discretion any individual from the audition process for any reason or for no reason at all, including without limitation violation of any portion of these terms and conditions or tampering with the entry process or the audition process. Producer also reserves the right to change these terms and conditions at any time with or without notice. Being chosen to audition and or compete at any level in the process does not ensure the act will be selected to continue the next stage of the competition process. License. The act shall retain all ownership rights in the act's audition video by submitting the audition video. The act hereby grant to the producer in perpetuity weird. Look at what it says. A non-exclusive, royalty-free, sub-licensable, and freely transferable license to use, reproduce, distribute, prepare derivative works of, display, adapt, reformat, translate, and otherwise exploit and perform all or any portion of the audition video for any purpose whatsoever throughout the universe, including without limitation in connection with the program, including without limitation advertising, marketing, promotion, merchandising, and the exploitation of any and all ancillary and subsidiary rights, and redistributing part. He literally did it. He gave them a license. They've got to. America's Got Talent, please. If someone, look, if anybody who ever watches the show has any connection, like I don't care if you just make an America's Got Talent guy sandwich, you have to beg them. Get their marketing department, please. Just please have them use B-roll somewhere of Russell's audition tape just to rub it in his stupid face, just to rub it in it, because it's going to get in his mouth if you do it. Please do it. They get to do by submitting the video. He gave them permission, full permission, in perpetuity, non-revocable. Right? Was it non-revocable? Is that what it says? It doesn't say. I don't think it says non-revocable. Other than in perpetuity. Oh my God. And it's freely transferable. They should send it to someone else too. Like just send it to The Voice or send it freely transferable to literally anybody. Whew. Oh boy. Send it to me. Give it to me. America's Got Talent. Just transfer the license to me. Oh. Okay. I thought that would be the case. That's double funny. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Ken, for finding that. Make an NFT. Mithrin Emmer says, for the ultimate in loss-planning-tism hilarity, we need Russell Greer and Melinda Scott locked in a circle of suing each other. The filings on both sides would be glorious. The amount of suicides that would happen from federal judges would be, it's too high a cost. Mithrin, we can't lose federal judges right now. Biden would have to appoint their replacements. Oh. Okay. This would be a very reasonable modification and could have easily fit within a case-by-case basis approach, as Greer showed talent, harm, and loss. This would have afforded Greer the privileges and advantages of the show per the statute and wouldn't have altered the show or competition, as Fremantle's producers frequently reach out to acts to come on the show without cattle call auditioning. Oh, do they? Good Mythical Morning YouTube channel details how they were called by AGT producers to go on the show with their dope zebra skit. They didn't go to an audition call. AGT called them. Okay. That doesn't have anything to do with your accommodation. Doesn't matter at all. 20 facts about America's Got Talent that fans would be surprised to learn. Let's see. Point 8 states that AGT producers recruit talent on the show that never preliminarily audition. Does that surprise people? I don't think that surprises. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. And he has an argumentative footnote. That'll be good. And then he has a random. Okay, so he has this footnote. What is he doing with these footnotes? Footnote 6 says, couldn't it be argued that the producers themselves are fundamentally altering the show's purpose by having acts on the show that bypass the preliminary audition? No, it can't be, because it's their show, Russ. It's their show, and they make up what they want it to do. Because despite you saying there is no artistic narrative, there legitimately and obviously is an artistic narrative to America's Got Talent. Let's see. So any claims of plaintiff's modification requests altering the show are wholly arbitrary and unwarranted. No, no, they're not. Oh, hurts in my face. It hurts in my face. By the way, guys, we're 65 likes away from 1,000. Thank you so much for liking and supporting the show. Always great to have you around. I mean, or you're liking and supporting my self-destructive behavior. One of those two, but I'll take them both. Groups of more than one person frequently audition on the show, and Fremantle has previously made a deal with the DOJ that they would allow disabled contestants to make modification requests for exceptions. Then it's not an exception if multiple people have done it. A modification that provides an exception to a peripheral tournament rule without impairing its purpose cannot be said to fundamentally alter the tournament. Again, Russ, you're missing a critical aspect of that PGA case. That guy has a disability where he cannot physically walk the course. That rule prevents him from competing at all. He can't do it. He can't get in the door. What you're saying is that not only should the PGA Tour case require the PGA to allow the guy to play with a golf cart, but he should also win one tournament a season. Insanity. Absolutely insane. Cheers to the 1,000 likes. Appreciate it. Oh, wait. Cheers. I forgot to clink glasses. Catch you later, Stooge Muffin Stuffin. Most importantly, the modification was only asking to go on the show to audition in front of celebrity judges. Greer wasn't asking to automatically win the prize or for any unfair advantages. Literally. No unfair advantages. Russ, you're asking to jump the line in front of probably 150,000 people. But he's not asking for any special unfair advantages. Thus, there would be no unfair advantage or fundamental alteration. The only thing that is unfair is to have a disabled contestant invest all of that money on a reasonable accommodation and that not be allowed to let him proceed onto the celebrity audition of the show. I'm about done reading this again because I can't keep doing it. It's so bad. It's so bad. What is Melinda up to here? Here we go. Has she filed more? She's filed more. She's filed more. Okay. I'll show you what she's filed so far. It's insane. The amount of stuff she is filing. And then Stuttering Stanley. I feel like Joaquin Phoenix, or was it Joaquin Phoenix? Yeah, and Joker or whatever. Like just like just constant laughter when I'm sad. I have a mental condition. God. Fremantle is in breach of its own agreement with the DOJ and its promised practices and policies accommodating contestants. Notice he said all this 50 times. He could edit this document down. It could be less than 20 pages. Fremantle ignored Greer's request for modification, requested he and the attorney under contract made numerous times throughout certified mail, email, and phone messages. He made them after. Going back to Fremantle's ADA agreement with DOJ, it states in paragraph 23 that upon 10 days of receiving an ADA complaint, it will investigate such claims and return a response after 90 days. 90 days after 10 days of receiving the complaint would have been July 23rd, 2021. At the time of this writing, it's October 21, 2021, and still no response from Fremantle. This is going off of the belief that the agreement was meant to be applied broadly to Fremantle as a whole. The Japanese Yakuza 1 says, time to go out and work in the lovely rainy weather today. Gonna catch up later on. Hey, good luck. Have fun at work. And maybe I'll see you when I start my next stream. If you're just starting work now, or in a few minutes, over there, you'll probably be finishing up when I start the next one. Wow. Okay. Oh God, he's going to keep arguing against himself. Just say that it's the same thing, Russ. Just say it. Just allege it. Make them fight against it. Don't sit here and argue against yourself. Oh, he's going back to the Martin thing. Look at how long this is. Jesus Christ. Okay. So here's this. The thing we haven't covered from Russ, because I can't take it anymore, is his request for a preliminary injunction. The response to this is due in 2 days. So 2 days from now. So on the 4th of November. This is another 22-page document for requesting a preliminary injunction. Infinite time. Infinite time. What's his requested injunction? Requiring Fremantle Production to allow him onto the 2022 season of the television show. He's asking the court as a preliminary matter to order him onto the next year's show. Fucking great. You're done. I'm through with you right now, Russ. All right, here we go. Here is Melinda Scott. So just to give you an idea, this is the docket report for Melinda Scott here. So we were on her reply to the motion for an appeal bond. Okay. This is the last document I've looked at, 87. Now she has a notice. She has a pro se reply to the second motion for time to file documents and motion for sanctions, which this is already denied. So this is not, there's no purpose in this. The motion for extra time was denied. Now we have the motion for attorney's fees and costs by Joshua Moon. This is on the 13th of October, and corrected. And then here's the reply to response to motion filed by fucking Hardin here. Response in opposition to motion filed by Hardin. Now she has a pro se second notice of non-consent to magistrate judge jurisdiction. Now she has a pro se reply in support of 84 supplemental motion for appeal bond, filed by Melinda Scott. Pro se reply in support of motion for sanctions, filed by Melinda Scott. Now she's got another. We've got another one on the 18th. Pro se motion for hearing and reply to motion for attorney's fees and costs pursuant to Rule 54. Motion for sanctions. Here we have pro se brief / memorandum in support of motion for hearing, RE motion for attorney's fees and costs from Melinda Scott. This is Hardin has a reply to her response to the motion on the attorney's fees. And then he has his first motion to supplement motion for attorney's fees and costs. That's what the judge said. I'm not going to give you extra time. You can supplement. So he's made the motion here. Now Melinda has filed pro se supplemental exhibits just a couple days ago. Hardin has objections. RE these pro se supplemental exhibits. Now she has a reply to the objections and a motion for seal and protective order by Melinda Scott. Let's look at this one. This is the one I want to see. This is 4 pages. All right. What is she trying to seal and for the protective order? This is the question. How many times does she say color of law in this document? On October 23rd, 2021, Defendant Moon, by counsel, filed a reply with accompanying exhibits. In the accompanying exhibits, Defendant Moon's counsel attached documents from court records not normally available to the public that had identifying information about the plaintiff, including residential information, vehicle make and model, and place of graduate school attendance. Grad school, Melinda? Did you graduate from undergrad? You have a bachelor's in what? What is your bachelor's in? Location of banking and whereabouts of her children. Defendant Moon's counsel did not use any courtesy or discretion when posting this information and likely did it to try to jab at the plaintiff, as one of the exhibits had no relevance to his reply. October 23rd, 2017, docket 99 attachment 3 was uploaded by a user of the website owned by Defendant Moon, KiwiFarms.net. Between March 13, 2017, the present date, users of Defendant Moon's website, KiwiFarms.net, have engaged in cyberstalking behaviors, including but not limited to. This is a legal conclusion. No one has ever successfully tagged the Kiwi Farms, whatever that means, on any of this stuff. Tracking the plaintiff's residential location. Does it move? Are you in a mobile home? Oh, thank goodness. She's asking for it to be sealed, right? But she's got the links to everything in the motion. Why didn't you file your request to seal it under seal, Melinda? It's the same sensitive information. So now anyone can review this public document. Anyone can review this public document and see the link that goes to exactly what you don't want people to see. Why didn't you request to file this confidentially? Okay. Tracking the plaintiff's county of residence. Someone did say, yes, it moves. She keeps getting evicted. Tracking the plaintiff's whereabouts, sharing information from their findings of bullets. A through C. Finding bullets A through C. Okay. For an international audience by posting it on the website, kiwifarms.net. Yeah. Okay. None of this is illegal, though. Sent the plaintiff harassing emails saying they intended to use her residential information to exploit and harm her. Made death threats to plaintiff, made threats to do bodily injury to the plaintiff, made threats to do bodily injury to her children, and made threats to stalk her children through doxing and otherwise. Additionally, Joshua Moon has made threats to use the plaintiff's residential information to harass her, send drunkards to her house, and cause bodily injury. Oh, that's footnote 7. Here we go. So this is footnote 7, which Joshua Moon owns a YouTube channel called Mad at the Internet Archive. I don't know that he does. I don't know that Joshua Moon owns Mad at the Internet Archive. I think that's someone else, isn't it? I might be wrong. I don't know. I think that's not Josh. Josh is just mad, just has mad at the internet or Kiwi Farms or whatever. Does anybody know the answer to that? Yeah, archive is not Moon. Wait, see, Goody says that is Josh. I thought someone else did it. Like Corona archives all the Yellow Flash streams, for example, all the Flashcast streams. A lot of people disagree with you, Goody. I don't know. That'd be interesting. A lot of people say it's not Josh. Okay. In a YouTube video published on his channel, which was entitled "The Fungus Among Us," and published September 10th, 2021, Joshua Moon stated he had the intent to harass plaintiff via third parties he planned to hire to send to her house. Oh, she's lying. She's completely lying here. The intent to cause plaintiff bodily injury through a third party he planned to hire and send her to her house. What he's talking about is hiring a debt collector. He's talking about hiring someone to do debt collection. That person would not be entitled to harass her. They would have to comply with the debt collection regulations of Virginia, which may not allow them to show up at the house or not allow them to show up at the house unannounced. Or if they are told they cannot contact her anymore, they just simply wouldn't be able to contact her anymore. Like there's a whole bunch of debt collection law that the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act is a federal act that you have to abide by. And then individual states are going to have their own debt collection practices, case law and statutes. So this is silly. The intent to send drunkards, intimidating strangers and troublemakers who bring crime to the plaintiff's house to take her money and property. Okay. Did she just call Ethan Ralph a drunkard? Because I'm pretty sure. Oh, wait. Okay. So here we go. We can add. Oh, fucking. Hold on. We can see what he says. V equals 2 B C E N Y W O L W O. Wait, 0. Perfect. Fungus Among Us, 1 hour and 5 minutes. And 50 seconds. Here we go. I got you, fam. 1 hour, 5 minutes, and let's just go ahead and get up near that 50-second mark. Let's see what evil things Joshua Moon said. I don't know. Here we go.
I'm just gonna. You can't garnish this aside. Okay. I'm just gonna throw this out here. I need aggravating white trash in the state of Virginia willing to visit this house and demand property on my debt. I need the most.
Oh. Why is it low volume? Hold on. It should not be low volume, but give me a second. Oh, I think I know why. I got it. Give me a second. Here we go. Don Gamer Guy says wrong channel. No, this is the right channel. If you're talking about wrong audio channel, when you see the McDonald's burning in the background, means I'm on StreamYard. I don't have control over the audio channels like I do on Streamlabs. Completely different setup. This is all done through the browser.
And it has changed the course of history. So I'm just gonna. You can't garnish this aside. Okay. I'm just gonna throw this out here. I need aggravating white trash in the state of Virginia willing to visit this house and demand property for my debt, I need the most wiggerish man that has ever lived.
The most wiggerish man who has ever lived. He's talking about a specific person, very specific right now.
To wear a GoPro and record himself taking back my fucking money. Legally, of course, because he would have my authority as my debt collector to visit that house and take that money on my behalf. Take the car, take whatever kids' toys are in the yard, basically put an aggressive lien on her so that she can't file any more bullshit litigation and waste my fucking time.
Now, he may not actually be able to take the car. A lot of states have exemption from debt collection that would include, and I don't know about West Virginia or Virginia or wherever it is. A lot of them would include an exemption for the homestead itself, for one car, for example, and it could be one car per person, right? She or Marshall would be separated there, presumably to each get their own car. So it depends. I mean, maybe they have a couple cars. Who knows? I'm echoing because it's coming through the mic. Let me turn it down on my TV a little bit here. All right, here we go.
I need someone who is taller than 5'1" and who can really handle himself in a physical confrontation to get my motherfucking money.
He's clearly talking about a very specific person in a joking way. If you know the lore, which we know Melinda Scott has to know the lore because she reads Kiwi Farms obsessively.
If I were to pursue this option, of course. I don't know who that could be. But that's the only way I could ever imagine this actually being worth it. Because as my thought is, if she's currently being harassed by white trash incarnate, she cannot sue me anymore because she's busy. She's too busy doing other shit. She's too busy being called at random hours of the day and being visited with a strange man with a GoPro and a Louis Vuitton purse.
You got to notice this was uploaded on September 11th. I know it says September 10th here. This is uploaded to the archive channel on September 11th, and this may just be what Twin Towers that channel.
To adequately trouble me with her bullshit, and I might, who knows, I might get a debt for $10,000, and I'll just say, look, dude, every dollar that you get from her, 50-50. You get the footage, you can stream the footage, you can do whatever you want with the footage, as long as I can also, do what I want with the footage. We'll both own the footage of you collecting this debt, and you'll get 50 cents of every dollar that I get in terms of collected income. I think that's fair. That could be fun. Who knows? I'm just throwing this idea out here to see where the winds of destiny take me, so to speak.
Okay, so yeah, this is again, and this is why this person's insane. She knows that this is a joke. She knows he does. I need someone who can handle himself in a physical confrontation. That's not intent to cause bodily injury, by the way. You know why he would need someone who can handle themselves in a physical confrontation is because Marshall used to be somewhat of a badass. I hope you know. People used to call him Martial Law because he's an ass kicker. And Melinda, you have talked on Kiwi Farms at length about how Marshall grew up in a tough time, and so he had to fight to survive. That's why he's so good at fighting. He's such a fighter. He's a fighter. He had to fight people, otherwise he'd be dead. He'd be dead if he wasn't such a fighter from his poorness. You made that claim. No one knows or cares to know this stuff about you guys. You fucking weirdos. You just vomit it out on the internet, and then people laugh at you. If she's currently being harassed by white trash incarnate, that's not the legal definition of harassment, and you wouldn't be able to claim it. Blah, 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 blah. You can stream the footage. Yeah, good. That'd be hilarious. Probably, again, a violation of Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. But if it's not, I mean, go ahead. Plaintiff petitions the court by motion for the following. Court order any of defendant Moon's counsel of record to cease and desist from electronically publishing any exhibit containing the plaintiff's residential address, county of residence. What does she mean by this? He only has one counsel of record. That's Hardin. Cease and desist from electronically publishing any exhibit containing the plaintiff's residential address, county of residence, place of employment or business, place of attendance at any graduate school, make, model, year of vehicles, and whereabouts of children, and any other identifying information which can be improperly used for stalking or in violation of law, such as social security numbers, etc. And Melinda, I've seen people post stuff about your kids, which I'm not a big fan of posting stuff about people's kids, but hey, you know, it's the internet. People are going to do what they're going to do. But they got it from you. They got it from your public Facebook posts. They got it from watching you. They learned they got pictures of your kids from you in public, not in private. Okay. And that this court required defendant Moon's counsel to submit directly to the clerk of the court any exhibit that contains identifying information which can be improperly used for stalking or in violation of law, such as plaintiff's resident, same things. And this court seal any more exhibits submitted by any counsel of record which contains identifying information about the plaintiff, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So there you go. That's what she has asked for. She has asked for the court to seal all of these things in public that she doesn't want to be seen in public. So good job. Good job, dummy. You just pointed people directly to the posts that you don't want people to see. This is a consideration that you should provide, or that I should provide as a service. Look, I'll consult with people on this for $2,000 an hour. It's simple, but I'm going to give it to you guys for free. Okay. If you're in a meme lawsuit, if you're in a public lawsuit that has any public perception that you're trying to do, or has any public exposure that you're trying to avoid, never, ever put what jokes make you mad in a legal document and file it. Don't do it. Because she just told Kiwi Farms what bothers her. She just told them, it's with specific posts, exactly what bothers her. Never do this. Maddox did the same thing. Maddox submitted 60 pages of jokes that Dick Masterson's users were, or followers or whatever, fans of his show, were saying about Maddox, that he wanted the judge to prevent the entire internet from making fun of him. And he sent 60 pages of jokes as evidence, which means, and he gathered them himself. Maddox went through and clipped out all of these jokes. Now, there were way more than 60 pages of jokes about Maddox, but he picked the ones to put in this document. He found the ones that made him the most mad, and he put them in a document. He said, "Judge, look at what they're saying about me." It's like, you just told the world the joke that got under your skin, or rather 60 pages of jokes that got under your skin. Why would you do this? Now all those people, and then, the best part is he kept all the names of the people saying it, right? Like all the Facebook names and stuff in the document. So then people are saying more outrageous stuff trying to get in the next document. Just, again, hire me for this. I will help you. I will help you. $2,000 an hour. I know it's very expensive. All right. I'm going to go to one of her recent posts. I just have to find it real quick because she types so much. Hold on. I've just got to find one of them. The problem is when she types something, like 1 million people respond to her. Here we go. Where is it? Oh, geez. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I found one. So aside from typing up miles and miles of inanity for the court, right? She's actively engaged on this platform still. She's trying to get Kiwi Farm shut down. She's trying to stop them from talking about her. And what does she do? She goes on the forum and talks to them. She engages with these people constantly. Okay? This is Melinda Scott. This is her. This is crazy Melinda. She has her name is Tamara Yale Bhatia. She calls herself. That's not a name that is real. That's a name that is real. No, that's her chosen Jewish name. Did I mention, so Melinda, claims to be Jewish, but she's not actually Jewish. That's another thing that we should probably clarify, right? All her magical Jewish powers are pretend. She's not actually Jewish. She's just not. She says she is because there were 11 lost tribes of Israel or something. And since there were lost tribes, then she must be one of those lost tribes. But she can't prove it. It's from the oral tradition, though. So it's true. Okay, so this person they go back and forth. People respond. And she's responding to this at first. So this person says, Melinda says, what? You mean I asserted the belief that a parent has a duty to look after her children for their entire life, even into adulthood? How preposterous of me. So about your brood that are all close in age and you being on welfare, how are you going to support them as they age into teenagers, leave, refuse to work because that's what they saw mommy do and it worked for her, fail to enter the education system because your homeschooling doesn't even come close to meeting the minimum requirements, but boy, will they resentfully respect women, and then fall into the same pattern of abusing the welfare system as you? Please say something like you'll give them sage wisdom or a mother's love. They'll love that when they're asking for straight up cash, right? Okay, so this person's making fun of her assertion that she will take care of her children forever. And Phoenix Lord Asterman makes a good point. A lot of people don't know this because I don't think I've ever talked about this. Do you know why Melinda first sued Joshua Moon? Josh tried to be nice and inform Melinda that a stalker named Andrew something was discussing his plans to harm her and harass her on the forum itself. So she had a stalker. He went to the Kiwi Farms. Josh reached out to Melinda and said, hey, there's a crazy man planning these things. He's doing it on the website. So Melinda sued Josh. The farms were following her stalker. That's who the farms were following. They didn't know really anything about her. Then she came on there and spewed this nonsense all over. This is all stepping on rakes. Her entire life is stepping on rakes, just constantly. She's got rakes everywhere. right in the fucking mouth every time she steps. All right. So, quote, abusing the welfare system? Haha, there's no such thing. I mean, apparently Melinda hasn't heard of the several billion prosecutions for welfare fraud, unjust enrichment, all of that stuff that happens with abuse of the welfare system. But whatever. There's no such thing. Torah does not condemn socialism. Is that the kind of mantras your parents indoctrinated you with? Bah ha ha ha. Oh, are you back on the whole pathetic played out argument that if it ain't a W-2, it isn't work? You flip, you flop. So yeah, Melinda got really mad that I said that she doesn't pay taxes because she doesn't pay taxes. She is a net leech on the country, right? She takes money out of the system. She doesn't put more in than she takes out. I can say that with confidence because look at her. She gets more money back than she puts in. It's not hard to do, by the way. Not hard at all, especially with 6 kids like she has. You just have to figure out the optimal amount of money to earn from the earned income tax credit and maximize your income tax credit. With 6 kids, you get a lot of money back. You get a lot of money back from the government for that. I know. I have 5 kids. And I don't get earned income tax credit anymore. And actually, I never got it with 5 kids, I don't think. But I did with 4. And it can be very lucrative if your income is structured right. But she got really mad that I said that she's a withdrawal on other people's money. She's taking other people's money to fund her frivolous lawsuits. I think that's detestable, personally. It's because they're frivolous lawsuits. She says, I've worked for every day since I was 16 years old. You're delusional. When I was a teenager, I got my first job at 16, graduated high school with honors, worked my way through college with honors, grew, birthed, and breastfed 6 children, raised and schooled children for 15 years at home, changed more than 30,000 diapers, cooked more than 20,000 meals for the last 19 years, established my own small businesses, which don't make any money, finished college, and have worked nonstop for 20 years straight. I don't need your validation. Who the fuck are you anyway? Some goyim on the internet with an opinion. Whoopity fucking do and sarcasm. Wait, so that was sarcasm? So you didn't do any of that? I'm what was sarcastic there? I expect the same from my children. Find something productive to do with them. You haven't done anything productive, Melinda. My children already live very productive lives. I limit their screen time. That doesn't make someone productive. They are welcome to stay in the gates of my house. It's not your house. To be fair, you keep getting evicted from houses because you can't pay for the rent. As long as they need, as long as they follow Torah. If they want to be socialists, that's their personal choice. I don't teach my children to have pride in capitalism. My father refused to buy a car until he was 25 because he thought charging men more for car insurance because they were male was sexist. So he rode on a skateboard instead until my mom forced him to buy a car for our sake. Well, Lottie fucking da. Like, listen to this. This should explain where these crazy people come from. I'll show the insurance company how sexist it is. I won't buy a car and instead I'll ride on a skateboard for 7 fucking years. Well, 9 if you count from 16 on. Good for him for standing up for his morals. Well, he didn't stand up for his morals once your mom put her foot down. So does he have convictions or not? If my children come up with convictions like that, then so be it. Well, convictions that are immediately overridden by a spouse. I'm only worried that they obey the Torah and make it to the New Jerusalem. I don't care if they have ambitions to serve the system as a staunch capitalist. No, she wants them to take from the system as staunch socialists, like she does. This chick, she's admitted, by the way, that she's a socialist, and so therefore her just taking from others is justified because it's not theirs, it's everybody's. She is her the purpose of pointing out that she's a tax leech, for example, is not because she has a based opinion on taxes as taxation is theft. She doesn't believe taxation is theft. She believes that she can opt out of the tax system to take other people's taxation. So just want to clarify that because I did see some people say, fuck taxes. No. Melinda is not opposed to taxes. Melinda is pro taxes for other people to fund her life. This is a disgusting pile of garbage whose sole purpose is to take what other people earn. That's her entire goal in life. Take what other people earn for her own comfort. This is a trash person. Mandy Carvica says, did you get a martial law face reveal yet? Or is he still cowering behind a computer screen? No, Marshall's face has been revealed. I don't think he's done a video revealing his face, but his face, I mean, he's on Kiwi Farms. That thumbnail I did with Melinda and Josh on the lawsuit video, that was Marshall behind him. I photoshopped Josh's face onto Marshall. Mithrin Emmer says, hold up. If Melinda does all this work and has all these businesses, then surely she'd be able to afford to file her own lawsuits and should stop filing in forma pauperis. Just saying. Unfortunately, neither she nor her businesses own any assets or make any income because they're not actually businesses. They're excuses. So she says, I want all my children to attend college like I did. So by being paid for by someone else. That's what she means. And I can show them how to do it. But if they have another person or passion or calling, that's fine too. I'm not a simpleton like you who thinks there's only one way, there's only way to be productive. Starving artists exist in their own right too. If you're a starving artist right now and you're not on the NFT fucking fire sale, what are you doing? What are you even doing with your life? Like if you're doing anything other than learning how to sell NFTs to people and grift the ever-loving shit out of it, like stop being starving. Do that. I don't know if you'll succeed, but if you're not trying right now, while there's a bunch of crypto that people will give to you for substandard art that you don't even have to produce. It's amazing. Not everybody's doing it that way, but a lot of people are. Let's see. Who cares about money? Follow the dream, not the money. Again, this is a woman who will take from everyone around her so she knows she'll never fail. She's weaving the social safety net beneath her feet. I also don't expect my daughters to be men either. I mean, I would hope you don't. They are free not to marry if they want, but I will not allow them to marry any goyim man who expects them to have a pair of balls like a man and go hunt for resources in society like a man. Oh, okay. So I guess a two-income household is out of the question because, all right. A righteous man understands his duty to provide for his wife when she is vulnerable in pregnancy, childbirth, and postpartum. Does Marshall provide for you? Like you guys are fucking broke. So is Marshall not a righteous man? Because Marshall's not your man. The government's your man. If you're on welfare, the government is your man. Okay. I'm not a man and I don't need to go out and hunt for resources like a man, and neither do my daughters. I mean, you got to exchange something for resources typically. That's why you goyim are perverted. You try to make women into men, then you abuse them by expecting them to do everything domestic too. You want your women to pull like mules but spread their legs like flowers. Fucking dumb goyim. You'll never be wise enough. Okay. All right. So then you thought this was over. Illuminati order official said, sex for money is work. Sex for fun is or should be fun. Context is all. Says you're working either way. Burning calories doesn't matter your intent. So now you know she's been working every day of her since she was 16. And now you know what she means by work. She doesn't mean work. She means burning calories, doing literally anything. Sitting on a couch burns calories. Standing up, having sex, not having sex, making pasta. It's all burning calories. This is what she allegedly is doing. This is work for her. Okay, so Carl DeGrosse said, even worse, I demand that my mother, who I've repeatedly accused of being a terrible person as well as a drug addict, watch my children for free while I go to law school. Let's look into the logistics here. Melinda was demanding that her mother, who definitely didn't live in Appalachia, Virginia, where her law school is located, house, feed, clothe, and apparently homeschool her children. Or were your children just not going to get any schooling, even in the minimal and unsatisfactory homeschooling you do during your 3 years at law school? She says, you make up so much bullshit. For one, I've never made anyone work for free for me. For two, my mom wanted to restore our relationship. At the time, she was living in a dump with a slum landlord, and I offered her better and cheaper housing and money on top of it to watch my children so I could finish law school. What money? I never demanded it from her. I also told her that in return for helping me, I would give her a portion of my work profits for the rest of my life, help take care of her and her stuff. By the way, Marshall has a premiere to show how he's a badass. If there's a bunch of copyright music, I'm not gonna go through it, but let's see. Anything happen in this? Is this literally it? Okay. There you go. Got kind of a badass here. All right. Useful mistakes is the documents from the clerk. She says, I know you suffer from delusional disorder, but dang, this whole other level. The clerk signed letter says no notice of satisfaction has been filed. Does it say there's an outstanding judgment on the docket for which a notice of satisfaction needs to be filed? No, it doesn't. What a dummy. It says, or assuming that she was obligated to watch any children of mine, says the childless woman. No wonder the woman tossed her out at 16. Narcissistic narrative. I would not dream of talking about my mother like that. No one cares. Carl, she keeps going. She's been responding a lot lately, by the way. She's been, these responses are all this length. My point in this is look at how much time she is just not doing any work. She's not doing any work. She says she's doing work, like burning calories or whatever, doing some work around the, she's typing pages and pages and pages and pages a day. Carl DeGrosse says, first off, I'm quite sure that your sisters could have signed any required paperwork. Second off, there's an utterly and completely different story than you were telling us at the time of your mother's death. There's no mention of this next of kin nonsense, just you being infuriated that your mother didn't leave you any money and repeated threats to file suit against your sisters and any other beneficiaries. You told the thread about this yourself, as well as telling us about being paid to go away. He says, another fantasy in your head. By law, all next of kin have to sign. And no, my sisters, plural, could not sign. My oldest sister was adopted by another family. She had no legal right to sign. By the way, rumor has it that you have prior felonies, Carl DeGrosse. What are those felonies for? I have no idea. I can almost guarantee you she's wrong on probate law because she's wrong on all of the law she talks about. Useful Mistake says you are still wrong on how magistrates operate, so I don't believe this will help you much, if any. Law, you wish I was wrong. Your job here is to try to spread as much disinformation as possible. I'm not falling for it. Do you see a magistrate touching anything on my case since I filed and signed and filed my notice? Now let's see. No. Well, I don't know. Is there? Here we go. Let's see if there's been any orders in this case since then. I got to pay 10 more cents. 10 cents every time I bring up this webpage. So let's see. There's been no orders since, let's see, this minute order on 10/8. So her first notice would be on 10/12. Now there's also been nothing filed retracting the magistrate's authority either. She just hasn't ruled on anything since. So we'll see, though, because we've got some stuff in the docket. Melinda has made sure that there's plenty more crap to deal with. So I can't wait. I cannot wait until a magistrate rules on her next thing and she loses her goddamn mind. It'll be perfect. Mandy Karavikas says, oh yes, I'm a 5'6" Texas chick and I could definitely whoop Marshall's ass and Vito's. Can I be your female bodyguard, Nick? Sure. Bookham Dano says Melinda needs to get a job, one that pays money. Yes. Yes. Here we go. Oh, Malik Foxen says, I didn't care what Goyim was all the times it's been said. I hear it so many times in this stream from Melinda now. So what the fuck does it mean? Non-Jew. Which Melinda is also Goyim. So, but anyway, here we go. Where does it say that the Israelites should go stealing willy-nilly from Goyim? Find it yourself, you goy bitch. I don't do homework for other people. Do your own homework. Like the nerve of you to try to ask me to do your homework for you. Melinda, you ask other people to pay for your entire life. But yes, her argument is that Israelites should take from the Goyim. Fnarf says, no living person in Torah was ever declared Tamium and therefore never had to worry about sinning again. Lamau, it's not how it works. Going against the sinning nature is a constant struggle, and it's a struggle that makes you righteous. The only person who was completely Tamium was Yeshua. This is the kind of stupidity that Christians believe and recite. That's why you're evil. Oh gosh, I just can't. No, I'll just sit back and grin at my computer screen, knowing that the special curse that Elohim has given you is stupidity and guile in your mouth. Talk. Says Smelly's confusion. Smelly is Smelly Melly, Melinda. Confusion of welfare with socialism confirmed. Your denial of what the Torah says confirmed. Cope, you dumb goy. Your capitalistic crusade is from the devil. While the middle class blame the poor, I'm going to park my boat in my boat. Hell fucking yeah. God, can I get a yacht? Can I just get a yacht? DSP's tax lawyer says a bunch of denials about what the Torah says. Me, Torah says A, B, C to support socialism. You, no, it doesn't, you dumb whore welfare queen. Yes. You're intellectually dishonest and can deny what Torah says all day. You got proven wrong, and all you can do is sit there and go, nuh-uh, and call people insults. You're rambling on with word salad and opinion. You're drunk with a keyboard typing incoherent nonsense. Newsflash, find some capitalistic vent group to gripe on, because I don't give a rat's ass about your opinions on socialism or about people who utilize government benefits. If you don't like socialism, go complain to Congress, who has signed government assistance into law. Newsflash, all the families in America who collect government assistance don't give a flying fuck what you think or what any staunch capitalist for that matter thinks. Do you think by ranting and raving on the internet in an attempt to publicly ridicule others for their lifestyle choices is going to make an impact on how any socialist thinks? No, not one bit. Literally zero self-awareness in this person. Melinda is a crazy person. She's fucking insane. See, here you go. Here's her awesome socialist meme. Socialism doesn't mean taking wealth from those who work hard and giving it to those who don't. You're thinking capitalism. Nope. Thinking socialism. Oh, and this is her other thing. DSP Sax Lawyer says, especially once the GoPro footage gets released along with your house. Tag exhibit. She does these hashtag tag exhibits so she can later go back and include them in filings. Like an idiot. So this was posted yesterday at 10 p.m. So right before this show started. Although I think Kiwi Farm's clock is Eastern time. So that might have been I'm not going to read another one, but on the yesterday at 2:41 p.m. she posted this one. This is all her still. Wow. So that was at 2:41 and 10. Let's see. See if she responds again. Nope. Let's see what else was going on with her this day. At 12:42 p.m., so 2 hours before that, she posted this one. This is someone who has nothing to do and yet is taking from everybody else in society to file frivolous lawsuits, which she, of course, spews out onto the page as well and claims she's working. And at 11:54 a.m., an hour prior, here's another one. This is all she's doing all day. Oh, I'm taking care of kids. I'm being a good mom. No, Melinda, you're just typing. And these people, you think that these people shouldn't be allowed to talk about you at all. Ten 12 a.m., an hour before that. She's just all day typing this. Okay. I'm not going to keep doing this, I don't think, unless there's another one from that day. There can't be. She can't have typed another one. Doesn't look like it. She woke up and spit out a few, and then she had to. Oh, wait. No, this one's from Sunday at 11 p.m. All right. Anyway. So I don't know, man. This is someone, again, she's suing so that people on the forum will stop talking about her, yet she's engaging in discussions with them constantly. She claims to be a productive member of society while she just takes and takes and takes and spends her entire time writing on kiwi farms. All right. I can't keep doing it. I'm done. Let's do super chats and wrap up the show. Chance Schofield says Barnes talks about what happened with the Rittenhouse team at 12:12 in today's live stream. People should go check that out and see and get Barnes's perspective on it. Remember that the people that she sues, the people that Russell Greer sue, people that fucking Ray Gordon sue, they are victims. They are victims. The lawsuits have no purpose. The lawsuits have no legal basis. They're entirely intended to harm the other person, take their resources, take their time, take their money. If they could possibly fart out a win, that's what they, kind of want to do, but it doesn't matter. This is how they get their power. This is how they express their dominance, how they shout their rage to the world, is they file a lawsuit. And they get off on this. They're addicted to it. Melinda has a mental disorder. Same with Russell Greer. Same with Ray Gordon. Same with all these people who are frequent, repeated pro se litigant failures. They get addicted to the power. Look what she's doing. She is forcing Josh to respond. Ignore the lawyer part, because he could technically file pro se and they could have a retard slug out or whatever. Ignore the expense. It's a reality, right? It's a reality, and you can't actually ignore it. But if Josh didn't hire a lawyer, they'd be filing back and forth pro se. She would still be forcing him to respond. She wants to mandate his response, to demand, to take away from his time and attention, to demand him, to bring him before a court that probably shouldn't even have jurisdiction, to force him to answer. Russell Greer was trying to force Taylor Swift into the state of Utah, into the courtroom, so he could see her in person. That's what he was trying to do. That's why Russell Greer filed his first lawsuit against Taylor Swift in small claims court. He thought, small claims, you don't have attorneys. Therefore, Taylor Swift will fly to Utah and appear in person in small claims court, and then I will be in the same room as her. This is what they want. They want to force people through the courts. Whether they win or lose is irrelevant. They're exerting power over it, and they're over someone else, and they're addicted to that power. These are terrible fucking people. Terrible people. Seymour Butts says, did it work? No, she just hired a lawyer. Russell Greer had an intent for this to happen, and he was shocked when she didn't show up and she was allowed to be represented by competent counsel, Greg Skordas, because Russell Greer's an idiot. But his intent was to have Taylor Swift come there. These sick, evil people. I got to clip that out of Arthur's video and just have that. Disgusting Nazi communists. That's what they want to do. That's what all these pro se litigants are doing. That's what these pro se lawsuits are about. It's about exerting power over someone that you shouldn't have any power to exert over them. These frivolous claims force them to respond. If you don't respond and they follow the right steps, you get a default judgment. And then they get to try and enforce that. But if they do the steps right, the default judgment is valid. Anyway, all right. Super chats. Let me load up the justice chats. Angry Bainling asked if there was going to be a movie night tonight. No, sorry. I got to get up in 7 hours. I got to be up in 7 hours to start the next Kyle stream. That one guy says Russ looks like Heidi Klum if she got hit with a tomahawk. What kind of tomahawk? That one guy. First one, then the other. Kool-Aid Man. Sorry. Burping up Grape Crush. Says, oh yeah. So Nick, I was banging this chick and I was banging her so hard her fake eye popped out. Being the open-minded pitcher I am, we explored and I got my first socket job. Afterwards, she looked like the T-1000 when Sarah shotgunned him in the face. Stop it. That one guy says, NFT, all my jokes about Monica being a horse. You have my blessing. And Soki Johnson says also, Nick, we have a theory on Hard Bastards stream that the reason some women are so angry is they're wall battered or never received proper deep dicking. Makes sense in Melinda's case. Her husband sounds like he's a good cry away from turning into Ron Soye. Could be. Bumfuzzle Bros says, is there going to be a Star Trek Griff stream this week at all? I mean, I did the Star Trek Griff stream on yesterday. Was that Sunday with Lady Rackets? I don't think we'd do another one, but maybe. We'll see. I don't know, because I'm going to be doing so much Rittenhouse stuff. I don't know what other time I'm going to have. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Lost my train of thought. Fox McLeod says, assuming the curfew and gun charges in the Rittenhouse trial are up to the jury, can the jury just say no on the ground they don't agree with the laws? Yes. The jury can also say these are bullshit charges. Even if they agree with the laws in general, they could say this is all just because you're trying to get this kid with as much as you can. So the jury could just decide he's not guilty on all counts or guilty on. I mean, that's how juries work. Fit for Cecil says, is it true that Alec Baldwin's new armorer is Russell Greer? Yes. Pisek says, MFTs are a normie trap. They may be, but selling them is an excellent way for people to make money if you can figure out a way to do it. People like buying them. I don't understand. Angry Baneling, 2 points. One, I don't usually pick the games to shill. They send me an offer of, do you want to do this? Second, the reason I shilled Star Trek Fleet Command was mostly to get Lady Rackets on stream with me because I thought it would be fun. And it was fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I enjoy hanging out with her. Andrew War Snowboard says, put up or shut up, Rackets. You're in NFTs. Clark Terry fan says, Nick, the dad moment was the best part of the stream. You can read them, go the F to sleep to knock them out, or have Sam Jackson read it. Sarn Zero says, talent shows are problematic in our Harrison Bergeron reality. Bergeron? Deathwish says, because I'm stupid, drunk, and it's just slips of paper for my favorite streamer. Hey, thanks, Deathwish. You can get stupid drunk and send me slips of paper whenever you want. Voice of a Free America says, hey, Nick, has Russell ever been checked for the disability known as mental retardation? I don't think so. Brian has message retracted. Sorry, Brian. YouTube censored you. I watched it happen in real time. It didn't even put your chat attached to the super chat. It first showed as no message and then message retracted. Super Iron Bob says, I pray that anyone and everyone feeling self-doubt would be granted an iota of the self-assurance that Greer has. No kidding. Baneling, I think that stream's up, though. You can go check it out. If you want to rewatch it, if you need some content tonight, I guess. Twilight Dragon 3 says, you can summarize every lawsuit that Greer writes with Maplites. 200 Watt Studio says, Rush should learn yoga, then go on America's Got Talent as lawyer who stands on head while filing lawsuits. That's talent. Juan Lopez says, see Russell sue company and people that are worth millions of dollars is like seeing Mike Tyson fight DSP. Phoenix Lord Azerman says, I can't take Russ's stupid suit, so let's check out brilliant legal analyst Melinda Scott, Nick Ricada 2021. I just get tired of the same shit. Russell wrote so much in that document. Like, that does not need to be a 34-page complaint. Timothy Reaper says, buy Greer's video and make it a Kiwi Farms exclusive. Christopher Nicholson says, setting aside the horrible legal precedent, how could we not want to see Greer win and get on America's Got Talent? I want him on America's Got Talent. The lawsuit is a mess. I want him to do better. Bookham Dano says, if you were being sued, would you rather be represented by Russell Greer, Melinda Scott, or Kevin Landau? Settle. Can I settle instead? Voice of a Free America says, NFT the crinkle bottom footage. Oh, the stuff we get into on this channel. Noel Arcto says, Nick, have you ever seen Find Me Guilty? It's about Jackie DeNorcio, who did pro se in a RICO case that lasted a year and won. Could be a good live show. Very interesting. I've never heard of it. Ludwig World Order says, Lightside Bill is getting false copyright struck off of YouTube. He goes by William the Alchemist these days. What's there to be done to help? Well, unfortunately, YouTube system allows the abuse of copyright claims. I have been very mildly helping Lightside Bill, allowing him to reviewing his counterclaims and allowing him to file, so he's not doxxed. Allowing him to file with my as his, like, I file as his attorney or whatever. But you know, that's YouTube has an abusable system. That's just how it goes. It's very unfortunate. But does Lady Raggeds drink? Yes. You two should do the next whiskey stream together. Oh, I don't know about that. She tends to not drink that much. Usually. But okay, guys, I think we've got it for today. I think we're good. So I'm trying to end before 2 because I gotta go to sleep and get up for Kyle Rittenhouse's case. So that being said, thank you all for hanging out. I'll see you guys at 9 in the morning, I guess. All right. Or I'll see you later. Things will be happening tomorrow. Again, right. Tomorrow is Kyle Rittenhouse, 9 a.m. Central Time. I'm going to make the link now once this show's over. And then I will be joined by Uncivil Law as well. So we'll start a little bit before 9, probably 8:45-ish, somewhere in there. Hopefully, if I'm awake. But yeah, I'll be joined by Uncivil Law. We'll be watching the Rittenhouse hearing and opening arguments. Should be really interesting day tomorrow. And then I will be on Adam Krigler's show right after that. So I will see you then. Hope you guys have a great, great night. Peace. Peace.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.